Hey, Grok, navigate me to the target on FM 1960 in Atascocita.
Navigating to target on Farm to Market 1960 Road East in Humboldt. It's 34 miles away, about 57 minutes.
Well, that was a heck of a day. Oh, bye. There you go, muscle memory. I didn't even have to do that, but of course I did. Well, that was a fun day, David.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, now that's something about FSD that I'll tell you, I go back and forth on that. And do you know what I'm about to say?
That it could have gone there, but it's overly cautious.
So overly cautious. And right there, it wasn't a big deal for two reasons. There wasn't a lot of other traffic on the feeder, and we didn't have anybody right behind us. But you know, and I know exactly what the situation would have been like had I had 4 or 5 cars behind me. In fact, let me put it on. I'm going to put it on Mad Max. Get you there a little quicker. Had I had 4 or 5 cars behind me, and all of the cars had their right blinker on and were turning, guess what had been going on? That would have been a honk fest. Now we could still sat there and been fine, but and you know what? At the end of the day, I still kind of understand that a bit because some people leave their blinker on by mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there have been enough collisions where somebody made the mistake of leaving their blinker on and plowed into somebody that FSD gets trained on there. And so something is telling me that FSD has seen enough of that to be smarter about it than we are. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But it does seem to be like really overly cautious still at feeder roads where you're turning right onto a feeder. But yeah, the day was great. So 2 robo-taxi, unsupervised robo-taxi rides in the Houston geofence. A wonderful, wonderful Mexican, Vietnamese, Filipino, Cajun, Puerto Rican, literally every culture. The most multicultural food court dish you're ever going to have in your life. I am making fun of it. It's actually not that bad.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. The nice little lunch there at Willowbrook Mall. We got to Jaw Jack for a couple hours. And now we're headed back to your rental car so you can go on to your next event or your next thingamajiggy. I'll let you obviously handle that publicly. But it's been a great day, man. So, brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Like I was saying on my RoboTaxi video, obviously we meet a lot of people online in spaces, but you just never know. So you meet somebody in person. Dude, you're a good motherfucker, man. I really, like you and I are going to be hanging out. We're going to hang out more. There ain't no ifs, ands, buts about that.
Next takeover, we're hanging out.
Brother. You're probably going to be I wonder what your streak will be by then. By next takeover.
Probably 30,000 if all goes well.
Yeah. That's one thing we didn't talk about that, but that's one thing I'm really excited to see that's just more of a day-to-day thing. But to see you continue, like, you're there, dude. Like, if you're at 11,000 plus, bro, keep it going because, here's the deal. We already know that Tesla has created vehicles with a technology that's all they're going to do.
Yeah.
Like those cybercabs that we saw today, like we literally saw a dozen of them, it seems like. More than that, maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, let me put a pin in that for the video here. I think that may be the biggest takeaway from today. Cybercabs are all over the place in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
I can't speak to Austin. I can't speak to
It's even
Dallas.
more in Austin.
I would assume. But you and I can definitely speak to the northwest side of Houston, Texas. They're everywhere.
There's one on every damn near block.
Dude, we saw one at the most indiscriminate office park in Cypress, Texas. And I had one of the worst, probably world's worst analogies to explain how indiscriminate that office park was, but there you go. But yeah, that was my biggest takeaway, David, is that there's number one, far and away, tons of cybercabs. But number two is just the amount of robo-taxis too. Like robo-taxis are everywhere. For me personally, David, it's about expanding the geofence. Like that's my biggest question right now to Tesla is, man, both of our robo-taxi rides were great. Were they perfect? No. Did each of them have at least one, and I think in certain cases maybe even two, little just kind of uncomfortable snafus? Yes. Were any of them life-threatening? No. Were any of them even damage-threatening? No. They were just like little, you tell the car was probably thinking a little too hard, and they'll get that fixed. But yeah, it's to the point now where the service is so damn good, David. Like,
they must be just waiting for cybercabs, and they're gonna ship out 1,000 and expand it on a day or something. That feels like must be their only reason they're holding back at this point.
Well, and today, one of the things other than just getting to meet you, and now, being able to put you in that group of friends that I've met in person and that will continue to congregate with. But the second thing I'm really happy that we came out here and I got a chance to do robo-taxi again with you is I learned something today. I was not so certain that that's what they were waiting on. I was like, I don't know, that seems like a cop-out. Today confirmed for me, they're waiting on cybercab. Like, there's nothing that will confirm what you just said more so, David, than getting in two robo-taxis and getting driven around the entire because literally we went from one side of the geofence to the other. And we saw more cybercab, and we saw a bunch of robo-taxis. But our Model Ys, I should say. It's all robo-taxis.
Yeah.
Get my vernacular right. But we saw 3 to 4 to maybe 5 times as many cybercabs as we saw Model Y robo-taxis.
Yeah.
It is clear as a bell to me now. Thanks to you coming to Houston and getting me out of bed. I mean, getting me out of my house and going and coming back out here and doing more robo-taxi than that. And now I am 100% in the camp of they're just waiting for cybercab to deploy. Now, that being said, I saw, at least as far as I know, I saw 0 cybercabs with no steering wheel. Nobody in them. They were all, we saw a ton. Heck, at the end of the day, we may have seen 20.
Probably.
I think we saw about 20 all together from beginning to end of the day. I think we saw about 20, but all of them had the Squircle and all of them had a driver. But I will say this. You and I looked very close. That Squircle is the most temporary looking Home Depot, Lowe's, Jerry Rig. Shout out to Zach Jerry. Hey, which by the way, oh God, you cut this out if you want to. I actually like Zach.
He seemed like he's doing a lot of good for humanity as well.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
So I know something that he's done well for. So it's tough for me because I know the dude's heart. He's just got this.
Nobody's perfect, but
yeah.
I think he does more good for the world than.
Oh, he absolutely. He's got a great heart. He does amazing things for friends of mine. So, but he's just got this jaundiced part of his brain that has got EDS. And you know what? We've all probably got family members like that.
Yeah.
That raised us. That
Yeah,
cleaned our diapers.
It's not like he's unique or
No, it's not like he's unique in this world. There are people out there that got severe EDS. And, some of them may be in your family, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you right now. But that's no reason to shove them out of your life. All right. And in fact, you may be the person. It may be your Tesla ride. It may be your, conversations with them over time that gets them to, see that there's more good in the world than there is what they see on Twitter or X or out there in the media. Anywho.
So what do you think of the other side of the argument? It doesn't hurt my feelings any, but you have people like Chuck Cook, the main component, but people that just hate the idea of the streak on the screen.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I completely disagree with Chuck. I could not disagree with him more. Okay, let me preface what I'm about to say with the fact that I'm a dumbass Uber driver in Porter, Texas. I said that for Lincoln. Porter, Texas. You gotta put your chest in it when you say Porter, baby.
I love Lincoln too.
He's great. Lincoln. He's like, when we're talking scale, 0 to 10, my man may be 9, but I love him to death. He's my 9. You know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
So, I love Lincoln to death. Yeah, that's another guy that once you meet him in person, you love him more. One of those people, Those are the best people. The ones where you like them, but once you meet them in person, it's just like you like them even more. Lincoln is that dude. Anywho, I'm just a dumbass Uber driver in Porter, Texas. I have no technical background. I've never flown a plane in my life. I have been on plenty of them, so I have none of the background. And whereas Chuck was a pilot in the military, which their life is about risk assessment and not taking any necessary decisions. I was a machine gunner in the Marine Corps. My life was about taking risks. And the way you're the tip of the spear, the tip of the tip of the tip of the spear for that. Well, when I was in the Marine Corps, I was the tip of the tip of the tip of the spear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I get it. His risk assessment is much better than mine because it's more honed, right? Like my life was, hey, you're going to lose some friends, and you just got to live with it. But there's a greater good here. You're going to be there. Chuck, he couldn't do that in his line of work in the military, right? Anywho, I just wanted to lay all that groundwork that I'm an idiot and Chuck is smart. That being said, here's the part that is so simple to me. Why the streak is important. And in fact, I don't think Tesla is going hard enough in the paint enough on streaks. And here's why. It's completely statistics. It's completely math. Hey, Grok, I'm talking about FSD, and I'm at one of those points in a conversation where I'm about to talk out of my ass, and I need you to save me from talking out of my ass. Can you do that?
Yeah, I've got the facts on full self-driving from the man. It's supervised, not autonomous, so you gotta stay alert and ready to take over any time.
All right. Well, that's cool. I wasn't going to ask you anything about that, but that's cool. I'm glad you like it being supervised. I do too. Actually, my question, Rex, was going to be more about FSD stats. So, FSD supervised, as of today, proven statistically, is how many times safer than a person in a regular gas car being driven manually. How many times safer is supervised FSD?
Tesla's latest safety report claims FSD supervised has about 7 times fewer major collisions than the U.S. average human driver, one every 5.3 million miles versus 660,000.
Okay, hey
Critics
Rex. So, all right, yeah, Rex, I'm gonna have to cut you off like overly. So, we got 7x. That's our baseline here. So just stick with me here for a second, Rex. Don't interrupt. I'll turn you off. I can do that. So it's 7x. So Tesla's got this thing called an FSD streak where you get to see how long you can go on FSD without disengaging. So since FSD is objectively 7 times safer than a human being driving manually, is it fair to say that when you disengage from FSD and end a streak, you are automatically 7 times more likely? Maybe you're not going to hit nothing, but you are 7 times more likely to get into an accident than had you just left it in FSD, supervised, if you will, and let it do its thing. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. But go ahead and answer me.
That's not fair. Disengagements happen for many reasons beyond safety, like user preference or edge cases. And Tesla's stats
All right,
are
hey Rex, you're being a pussy. Look here, I don't give a shit about user preferences. I don't give a shit about going in circles around a Kmart parking lot. I don't care about any of that. We're talking life and death here, son. I don't want you to give me any of that other shit. Just tell me, does it make more sense statistically if I want to avoid death, mayhem, and damage to stay in FSD and just go in that circle for a couple? Shut the fuck up. I'm talking, Rex. And go in that circle twice, or should I disengage because I might look silly? Answer me, Rex. Rex, are you mad at me?
FSD. Loop if it's safer overall. Always be ready to intervene, since it's supervised and can falter weird spot.
Rex, you're a fucking
Not mad
pussy,
at
man. Shut the fuck up.
Just keeping it real with the facts.
No, I...
End up regretting disengagement.
Rex, I need you to shut up for a second. Can you do that? Obviously you can. All right,
Fire away. I'm here to keep you.
I think you got one point.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I mean, first of all, that sometimes going to Grok, I get it. They're trying, like, we were talking about risk averse versus taking risk. Holy shit.
It's risk averse.
That was the most risk averse. I'm literally just asking you, Rex, give me statistics. Well, but you got them, like, bro, don't be you're a church lady. I'm not going to church here to get baptized. I'm asking you for statistics. Anyway, so you get my point. The only reason I wanted to do that, Grok, is I don't want to choose. I was about to say 10x.
Yeah.
So I would have been pulling 10x out of my ass. Per Grok, it's 7x. So what does that tell you? That if I go ahead and leave it in FSD, let it do its thing, drop a pin somewhere, go to like the worst case scenario is, okay, goes in a circle. I guarantee it's going to give up, bitch. It always does. If FSD goes in a circle in a parking lot, ladies, I can guarantee you it gives up after 2 or 3 times. It just does. It'll give up. Then you drop a pin. Or you can drop a pin while it's driving. You don't even have to wait. So, like, just so you know, not you, you know this, but for all of y'all, if FSD goes into a parking, and let's say you get, it looks like you're going to be taken into the Temple of Doom, just circling around the Walmart parking lot forever and ever. You can actually, it's not going to see it on it because we're not, but you can actually, while you're doing it, just drop a pin somewhere. Just find a spot in the parking lot, drop a pin. I guarantee you. Oh,
Just like that.
yep, just like that. Oh, there you go. Just like that. All you got to do is drop a pin. So let me go back. Get back on our conversation. So that is a long-winded way, because you know I can only do it long. A long-winded way of saying I disagree with Chuck Cook, and I don't just disagree with him. I disagree with him vehemently, because if every FSD user heeds that and disengages out of FSD instead of just letting it do its thing for a handful of miles, eventually that's going to accumulate to a number of miles that's going to equate to a life. And no, I am not going that far to say that about Chuck. I'm just telling you what statistics say.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to leave it, and I'm not going to draw any lines, and I'm definitely not going to say that, because Chuck's a great guy. And he's a lot more attuned to this stuff than me. But I could not disagree with Chuck Cook anymore. And you know what? My disagreement's not based on emotion. My disagreement is based on statistics. And you know what they said about statistics? There's lies, damn lies, and statistics. Then again, I think these statistics are right. Sorry, David. I just took all the air out in the Tesla.
No. I thought that was beautifully said.
Well, I appreciate that, son. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's because I leaned my head back. So, we're not quite at Dave. Uh-oh. Oh, when I did that. Oh, probably because I tipped my calf off. But 61.2. When I picked you up, we were at 8 point something. I'm going to say 9. So, David is already having a great impact on me. All I've done is sat here and literally raped his ear hole and done nothing but talk to him. But it's kept me on the street. So thank you, David.
Yeah.
Apologies about raping your ear hole, but thank you for helping me get the street. So yeah, I'm excited about that too for you, man. It's, and you kind of, part of me is like, stop being a puss about it. And then another part of me is like, it's while Uber's here, go get what you can get. But a part of me is like, why don't I try, like, just for one day, go do Uber and just let the chips fall where they may. So Uber gives me a pin, and let's say I do 10 rides, that day. It's just kind of a light day, and I just decide, you know what? Let me just give it a try. I'm going to do 10 rides today. And for these 10 rides, I am going to provide 0 additional customer service from that vantage point. Otherwise, same customer service. Great interaction in the car. I'll get out and open the door for the ladies. Lug it, all of that. What I'm not going to do is I am not going to disengage just to drive right up to my passenger and see what happens. See if that actually hurts my rating.
Yeah.
I bet you I've put it into my own head that somebody's going to get pissed at me or not tip. They don't, again, only 2 out of 10 tip in the first place, 2 or 3 out of 10. So it's not like I'd be losing a lot, but I ought to give it a shot just to see. Because I know it can be done.
You could make up the tips in your YouTube video, because that would be
a pretty good video, right? Because you've proven it. You've proven it can be done.
Twice,
and I know
twice
it.
now.
Twice, yeah. So it's not through 2 directions. I know it can be done mainly because of what you've done in 3 different countries, but also just because, yes, do I disengage on just about at the beginning of just about every Uber ride? Absolutely. But have I had to because of safety or parking? Never. So, in other words, even though I've done it, I've seen it can be done. I've just got to get past my own mental block of me thinking I'm, going to get dinged. What's that?
I got an idea for you.
Do it.
Why don't you sign up for a Lyft?
Oh, do Lyft for 10, and even if they get pissed at me, I can just get back off that platform.
You're not using it anyway.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. I actually am on Lyft. I've just never done it.
Oh yeah.
So I am a Lyft driver. I've never done one Lyft ride. And just so you know, Houston is, I don't know about what Seattle is like, but in Houston, this is about as dominant. Uber is about as dominant in Houston as you can be dominant.
I think it's pretty much dominant everywhere.
Yeah. I would say 90%. I could be wrong. Again, this is pulled. Hey, Grok. Hey, of all of the ride share rides that happen in the Houston metro area between Uber and Lyft, what percentage of those ride shares would be Uber and what percentage would be Lyft? And I realize you're not going to have all the data because neither company discloses it like that. But just based off Reddit forums and other things you've seen, what's your best estimate?
No exact Houston stats out there, but nationally, Uber grabs about 76% of rides, while Lyft gets 24%. Reddit folks say it's similar here, with Uber way more popular and busier. Maybe 80-20 split for Uber.
Bye. Goodbye. The latency is a little off today. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, so if nationally it's like 75-25, I was thinking, I think it's a little bit even more lopsided in Houston. So if Rex is saying he thinks it's 80-20 based off of Reddit forums and other online stuff, I'm telling you, I think it's probably more like 85-15. I would probably go even further. But yeah, that's a great idea. Then just use Lyft for 10 days. And that's a great idea. Just see how that works. Like, how do people actually, because here's the funny part. If I wasn't in the car, they wouldn't get pissed. They would just walk like we did. We did the same damn thing. Like that.
Don't even think twice about it.
Well, the robo-taxi went to the Uber spot, right?
Yeah.
But we were right there at that corner.
Yeah.
Now, if that was an Uber we were getting, we would have expected that Uber driver probably to come get, I don't know, maybe I don't know. See, I'm overthinking this.
I don't take enough rideshare to think about it.
Yeah.
I took an Uber yesterday for the first time in months, but
yeah, I probably so homes to like downtown and office parks, there's only one scenario where I still don't know.
Airport.
The two then. So there's two scenarios where you hit that. That's one, airport. So we have a specific Uber section we have to go to at each terminal. And the navigation is pretty good, but there's so much construction at our airport that it's 50-50 whether FSD follows it perfectly. And I usually I'd say 50% of the time, I have to disengage to get it one more lane over. So that's a good one. I think airport runs would screw it up. Second one's apartment complex. So I don't know how apartment complexes, what they're like in Seattle. Maybe y'all have them more like townhomes, so it's easier. But in Houston, we have these big multi-unit apartment complexes that are inside a gate.
Yeah.
And so you got to do a code. And so usually the way it works is if you're an Uber driver and you're picking up somebody at an apartment building, FSD will go right up to the right spot, and I would say 50% of the time it'll stop at the keypad, but another 50% of the time, if you don't stop it, it'll just go right up to the gate and then stop. It recognizes it, but it didn't recognize the keypad. And then it'll back up, reverse, and like act like it needs to go to another entrance. And so you got to take over.
Yeah.
So 50% of the time, it'll stop at that keypad. And that might work pretty good, other than me having to freaking crawl out of it, because it never stops close enough to it. So you got that. Those are the two where I think it might be difficult. And so the only thing I could say there is, you're picking up somebody in an apartment complex, say, I'm not going in, you got to come out. You will definitely get dinged on stars for that, right? If you make somebody walk from their apartment unit to the front of their complex, and maybe rightfully so, they'd get pretty pissed about. So that's what I'm saying. That might be, there may be two scenarios on Uber. Well, now that I talk it through, it probably doesn't make sense to do that, though, because that's not going to be any different. Or
I'm just saying you wouldn't ruin your Uber rating that way.
Yeah, that's true. But the apartment complex,
I mean,
the Uber. I know. I see what you're saying. Go on Lyft.
If you went on Lyft and you got fired on Lyft, then so what?
So what? I go right back on do. I was never going to do it again. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, you hit it on the head, though, I wasn't even thinking of the airport. I was thinking of apartment complexes because I do so many more apartment complex pickups than I do airport pickups. There's just more of them because they depend on Uber transportation. I just don't know how. That's one that Robotaxi's going to have to figure that one out too. Like that's going to have to be, and that might even be a conversation with folks that live in apartment complexes. It's like, hey guys, just FYI, this is going to cost half of what you're used to, but you're going to have to walk to the front of your home. Yeah, I don't know. Will be interesting to see for sure. Oh man, hot day too. Look at that, dude. 99 degrees. 99.
Feels way hotter than me. Yesterday it was like 110, 114.
And it feels hotter here.
Feels way hotter here, yeah.
Yeah, this is the kind of when you've got 99 degrees mixed with, hey Rex, hey Grok, what is the humidity in Houston right now?
Humidity in Houston right now is around 50 to 60%, based on local stations
Right.
Bobby Airport.
Goodbye. That surprises me. I was thinking it was definitely higher than that. I think Rex may be wrong on it. But yeah, when you mix, I bet you that's an early morning because there's no way it's only 50%. No way. So when you mix, my guess is it's above 80%. When you mix 100-degree weather with 90+% humidity, dude, it takes everything out of you. Like a normal day, just doing like normal stuff, and all of a sudden you're just like, dude, I'm toast. Like I feel lethargic. And that is one of the things I warn people about with Houston is that, there's some good parts to it. Like you can literally play golf year round here. If you put it this, if you like golf, this may be one of the best big cities on earth. You can play it year round and it's cheap as shit here.
You like golf?
I do. Here's the interesting thing. I used to play a lot and I used to play with my son, but I haven't played in about 2 years now.
Really?
Yeah. I was never great. So my guess is you're pretty good because I've seen the pictures of you out there. I was definitely more of that low 100s. Every blue moon I'd do a 98, 99. So by no means, like I was the guy, like I don't drink as much anymore. In fact, I haven't drank at all in a while, but I was that guy that I probably had a 12 pack before I hit the 10th tee box. Like, that was me. So I sit here and say, oh, I love to go on the golf course. Well, yeah, because I enjoy drinking beer and looking at 28-year-old girls.
Well, that must mean you're pretty good. I mean, if you could break 100 and be, drunk, that's I couldn't do that.
I think I did it because I was drunk. Because here's the deal. I think your short game sucks even worse when you're drunk, but I think your long game gets better when you're drunk. When you're shitty.
Yeah.
Let me preface that. That if you're 85 or below, disregard everything I just said. If you're 85 or below, you are by default a good golfer. But if you're 90 or above, I do think you can grease the skids a little bit with Bud or Miller, and you're because you just do. You don't think, you're like, fuck it. And the minute you say fuck it, you hit a 250-yard drive. Maybe not down the middle of the fairway, but you're not in the damn trees.
Yeah.
When I am stone cold sober for an 8:15 a.m. Tee time, dude, I'm in the trees like the first 3 holes. That was, and so it would take me like, okay, I got warmed up a little bit, because you can't hit the practice the driving range as much for those. But in Houston, you definitely want 8 o'clock tee times. Hell, at the country club that I used to play at in Kingwood, where the area I live in, the Kingwood Porter area, they would have 6:40 a.m. tee times.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and
beat that heat.
Number one, you got sun. You're already getting a little sun at that time. But number two, they want to get as many tee times in that they can before noon, because they know that bewitching time is from about noon to 4 or 5. Like, if somebody is out, there is somebody out there, but if they're playing golf right now and they've been out there since 2, I guarantee you those people haven't taken a piss in 18 holes. What do you bet? I bet you they drank a gallon of water and have not taken a piss. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I still have a home in Phoenix, but for a long time, I got a kick out of playing in the summer because nobody was around. I'd go in the afternoon, but I would legitimately, my routine was I would bring 9 frozen water bottles, and they'd all be gone by the end because and I'd never use the restroom.
It's a great pastime. In fact, it's to me, it's one of the best pastimes. I did enjoy it when I did. I've gotten to the point where I've ebbed and flowed with my hobbies, and now I enjoy doing Uber. I like doing the options thing. So for me, it's just kind of hard to fit it back in, right? Because the other thing is, golf is a time commitment. I mean, when my son and I used to be, my main thing was I would probably play at least once a week with a client, and then once on the weekend with my son. So I was playing 2 to 3 times a week, like at least twice a week.
Yeah.
But
like 20 hours a week.
That's exactly, especially when it's client stuff. Like my son and I, we knew each other, so it's just like bam, 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 and we would go out early on Saturday morning and just go, wake up. And that was actually one of some of my best memories. Are like waking up at 6 in the morning, got that crisp dew still on the ground. Nobody's been out up there yet. You're going to be, everyth's fresh just for you. And we'd actually go out there and walk it, so you get some good exercise too. So he and I could actually get done by like, sometimes 9 to 10 a.m. Right?
You still have your whole day at it.
Still have your, hell, go eat breakfast. But no, when it's with a client, I mean, you're like,
it's an 8-hour ordeal.
Jesus, sometimes even more than that, because it might end at the titty bar. Sorry, I shouldn't take that out, but it's true. You have like one of those 2 o'clock tee times. Y'all go to 5 or 6, have a couple of drinks in the clubhouse. Hey, the Heartbreakers place down there on I-45. The next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning before you get home. So yeah, that was not what you were looking for. And
I love the answer. That's exactly what I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I was actually thinking about putting something together around X Takeover for some people to get together golfing, and if you wanted to.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I like I said, still got my clubs. Yeah, I would join it. I mean, like I said, dude,
get a couple foursomes.
You would definitely want to, if you're going to force rank your foursomes. You know, what is it? Oh shit, what's that?
Scramble.
Scramble. There you go. If you were going to do scramble, you want to make sure you're putting me as a 4 in that scramble group. That's just, I know where I'm at. Now, that being said, because I haven't played in so long and because I haven't given a shit, I'd probably go out there and shoot a 98. That's always how it happened. I would go out there after months, a couple months away, shoot a 98 and be like, holy shit, and then get back out, and then I go back out there and it's 114 the next day. If you're scoring it right, you know, maybe 108 because I'm like, oh shit, there it is. How many balls did you lose today, Dad? And it's really 9, but it's like you just stop at 6. Like, it couldn't have been more than 6. I mean, look, let me count. I didn't go out there with a dozen balls, and it was only 8. You know, you start doing that convenient math, like, let me count the balls I have left in my, and you just lie to yourself about how that bag was full, like literally busting at the seam, and you've got like 6 balls left in there, and you're like, I think I went out there with 12. Like, no, dude, you went out there with everything from Academy Sports and Outdoors had to offer.
You had the whole clearance section.
That's right. But no, if you do that, I'm definitely. So I think the only thing I'm doing X Takeover. The only thing at all that is even planned is Omar got that. Whatchamacallit? Airbnb. So I'm staying in one of the rooms there. I forget what days it is. But hell, dude, I'm a 2-hour drive from Austin.
Yeah.
Shit, I could, you know, he's got an Airbnb for a certain amount of time, but I may end up going up there and just staying in an Econo Lodge for a day or two beforehand. A day or two, I don't know. Sometimes when I go to Austin, I stay put for a week. The only other thing that was being talked about was some folks wanted to go to Starbase too. I don't know. Have you ever been to Starbase?
I've never been.
Yeah. So that was one of the things. So I know that that's something that, and I don't know exactly what day that would be. So if folks go to Starbase, I mean that's a 2-day, because you know it's going to take you from Austin about 5 or 6 hours to drive down there. Then you're going to want to spend, you know, a day and then probably drive back that night. So you're talking about 2 full days for that. But other than that, so I had tentatively told somebody, yeah, I go up. But you know how those things are. I mean, those are groups that just ebb and flow and figure that out. But that's it. My plan is to go to Austin, be there for the X Takeover, meet a lot of new people, see a lot of old friends, which that'll put you in that group now. But meet a lot of people. I always meet people that I've been talking to for 3 years, and I finally meet them. I do have one suggestion for the folks that do the X Takeover. We need, what the hell do you call those
name
things?
Tags.
But not just that. Badges, you know, like the circle. What the hell are those things? You remember?
QR codes.
Yeah, but even more than that, I hate it when I got brain farts. Those clips that people would put on, and you know, like at political conventions, like people would put that Republican 1984, Ronald Reagan, you know, and there's a circle. What are they called? Is that just a badge? Is that what clip or badge? We need those, but on it has whatever your picture is on your profile. Exactly. And then your handle name.
Yeah.
So that I don't know why that hadn't been done yet. To me, unless people just, I mean, I was going to say some people may not want that, like especially if you're anonymous, but if you're anonymous, just don't wear it.
Yeah. I know Smokey's starting to sell some of those on the CyberGal.
Yeah. I like Smokey and CyberGal.
Yeah.
I've met Smokey, I have not met CyberGal.
She's really nice too.
Yeah. She's well, no one docks her. Or I think she's been public about it where she lives.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Atlanta, there you go. Yeah, Atlanta. Let's just say Atlanta area. But, man, talk about tricking out your Cybertruck. Ooh,
that polish job was
good.
Amazing.
Man, it looks so good. That's what I'm telling you, man. I'm just going, and this is going to anger some people, but I'm just not a huge fan of the original stainless steel smudge. This is not. It's just I love the Cybertruck, but I love it even more with these wraps. And in fact, I feel like the Cybertruck was made to be wrapped.
I agree. Yeah.
It's almost like it's a canvas. Like, I don't look at an art canvas and go, my God, that white paper is gorgeous. Why would Picasso have put paint on that thing? Picasso and Renault screwed up a perfectly good canvas by putting paint. Like, I'm being facetious here, right?
Yeah.
Nobody would ever say that. All right, we got, I thought we were going to have a chance to see something here. Humble Fire and Rescue. But, yeah, I'm being facetious and being a jackass here, but obviously nobody says that. The Picasso is because of what he put on there. And I get it. The Cybertruck is an amazing truck. In fact, I think it's the best truck out there, and I want to have one. In fact, I've got one ordered.
You got 59K ordered?
Yep. But I'm no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm wrapping mine. I don't even know if I'm taking mine home like that. I think when I get mine, I'm probably taking it straight to somebody to get the thing wrapped. I don't even know how you do that. Like, because I've never wrapped a vehicle before.
It's going to cost you like $7,000.
Yeah, I'm telling you, to me, it's worth it. Now, are they all that expensive?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And how long do they last?
Like 5-6 years. It
That's
depends on
not
how
bad.
good you get them, but yeah, like it'll be like $5,000 minimum for a crappy one, and because there's the vinyl and then there's the thicker PPF. The vinyl's more of like a sticker, but the PPF, obviously the Cybertruck's unique in how strong it is, but the PPF is also protective.
Yeah. And you know what? And here's the deal. If you're talking about a difference between $4,000, $5,000, up to $7,000, just get the $7,000 one. I mean, you just spent $60K on a truck.
Yeah.
Spend two more and get the better. It'll look better.
Are you going to keep this?
Yes, I have to. I mean, Tesla made the decision for me. I wasn't going to. So.
Because you have FSD outright?
Because I own FSD in it.
That's the same thing with mine.
Yeah. I was telling somebody this the other day, David, is that when Tesla took away, that's a long light. Anyway, when Tesla took away the FSD license, they made the decision easy for me. Essentially, no longer is the most valuable thing in my Tesla the battery pack or the motors or anything else, but it's a freaking chip. Like, literally the most important thing
it's your license
in my car is that FSD license. So what that means is, will I be doing battery pack swap? Absolutely. Well, I may go on 3 battery packs. Will I be changing out electric motors at some point? Absolutely. Well, I will be. This thing is the best analogy I gave to somebody. This thing's going to be a Portuguese man of war. And what I mean by that is back in the 17 and 1800s, when the Portuguese were the best at building ships, there were Portuguese ships that were built in like 1728 that were still around in the late 1800s. But guess how much of that ship was the original one from the 17? Like, literally zero. But it was the same ship. You see where I'm going with that? It's like, over time, They just kept switching out boards, switching out things. So by the time you go from 1728 to 1878, even though it's still the same named man of war, and it's the same ship, literally not one nail or board or anything on it was the same. Well, that's going to be this car.
That's like a first Model S signature to the last.
That's right. I am, because I'm just too incentivized now to keep this one going. And I get it. Some folks would counter me by saying, well, JC, I can see that working for maybe the next 5 to 10 years, that this car would still be, have utility over the next decade. But what if you get 10 to 20 years out? When we're talking about AI 12 and AI 13 and AI 14, and it's like, who's going to want to ride in that? And I'm like, look, I can guarantee you, if this thing still has the ability to let somebody get in the back seat, even if by 20 years from now the back seat's a damn rickshaw, if that thing has the ability to take somebody from point A to point B autonomously and do it for a quarter or 50 cent or 75 cent and pull blood from a turnip, they'll do it. It could be even, and here's another great analogy. Here I am saying great. I'm the one giving the analogy, so I shouldn't say great. But we call it, and I'm about to use a term here. You're gonna think I'm saying something else. But here in Texas, there's a thing called a stripper well. Has nothing to do with strippers. So a stripper well there's a bunch of old oil and gas fields out here in East Texas and West Texas. In fact, we are literally about 70 miles away from the very first gusher in the United States, the Spindletop. So this whole East Texas oil field, there are some oil fields out here that have been going for 120 years, dude. 110, 100
Wow.
years, just been going. I mean, now granted, they're not prolific anymore. They're not like they were in the Rockefeller days. They're not going like that. But there's still oil there. And so what they do is once an oil field gets to kind of what you would call the tail end of its economic life, they put stripper wells on top of it. Have you seen those horses' heads that go up and down?
Yeah.
That's all that is. So when you drive by a stripper well, by a horse's head, and just see it going up and down, that thing may only be pulling 10 barrels. Some cases, 3 or 4 barrels a day out of the ground. That's it. But you know what? You know how much it costs to run that horse's head? Literally nothing. That thing's already autonomous. That thing's been autonomous for years. So you're spending next to nothing because you got the horse's head all set up. And yeah, okay, so you're only pulling, 3 to 4 barrels of oil out of that spot every day. But that's money. A barrel of oil, if it's going for,
$100.
70 or 80 bucks, that thing is generating that thing's like Uber. It's generating $200 to $300 a day for you.
Yeah.
And you're not spending anything. So I could see a scenario where all of these AI4 Teslas that bought, we could be that group. Like you said it, there's that group out there, those 2012 Model S people. Come hell, they got supercharging for life, right? How long do you think you're going to see those Model S's around? They are going to keep those things going for as long as humanly possible. Well, what about those of us in the Tesla world with AI4 Teslas that own the FSD license? Do you think we're going to be pretty similar?
Yes.
I do too. I think
Especially because we haven't even talked about the fact that they're going to, eventually one of these days, they're going to jack the rate up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be $100 a month anymore.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be...
Because I don't know about you. I mean, I drive more than most, but I'd honestly probably pay $1,000 a month for what it does.
For me, I can tell you mathematically how much I would pay.
Yeah.
I do Uber. You want to? All right, so I would... Let's do the... Wow, that's such a nice move right there. It's, you see now how smooth that was, which makes me think, like how that was pretty damn smooth right there. And those, and again, I'm not picking on Robotaxi. It was just once or twice. But did you notice that?
They moved some weights around or something.
They've moved some weights. Like it's that caution, that extra little bit of caution, because that right there, like that was about as smooth as butter. That little.
That's what's messed up about all the Waymo rides. I don't know if you've ever been in one, but they're like that caution.
It's like V11.
Yeah.
It's like just herky jerky, hard coated. But yeah, let me to answer your question. How much would I? So, ask an Uber driver. First of all, there's no way in hell I would do Uber in this town if I didn't have Tesla FSD. Just no way. These people are crazy. And you can talk to other Uber drivers that have Tesla. And at least if it's AI4 Teslas, they're all using FSD now. The only ones that aren't are the ones that have the old Teslas and hardware 3. So that ought to tell you everything about hardware 3 versus AI4.
Yeah.
The Uber drivers, right? That's about as binary as it gets. But if an Uber driver does 8 to 12 hours in Houston, 8 to 12 hours, you can make $200 to $300 a day. So let's say somebody's making they're making $300 a day, or let's say 5 days a week. So that's $1,500 a week. Over 4 weeks, that's $6,000 a week that they've earned. How much do you think that guy would pay for Tesla FSD? And oh, by the way, because of FSD, you're actually able to work that much longer. Now, that guy is using FSD to make $6,000 for himself. You know, and not working inordinately wrong. Like that guy can do that in 8 to 10, maybe 12, but let's just say 8 to 12 hours, 5 days a week. So just treat it like a normal job. And that dude can make $6,000 gross.
Yeah.
A month. How much you think that dude would spend on FSD? You think he'd spend more than $99? I guarantee you he would. So I'm with you. I would spend $1,000. Now, that being said, I do think that it's going to have to get to unsupervised before, let's see, let's go. I'll go ahead and have it parked, and let's go to parking lot. We'll start with parking lot, but I know where your rental car is, and we'll see.
Can't break the streak.
Yeah, I'm going too good now. I'm at 80, man. Dude, I honestly, is it at 100 you get confetti? Okay. I think that's the second longest streak I've ever had. I think I did get.
Didn't you have one that was like 1,000 though?
No, I never got up to there. I got.
What about your road trip?
The road trip I did on the way back. So on the way there, I had to intervene a couple of times because of a storm. The storm just got too, and I had my wife and my son, and I just, again, that's the wrong mental calculus to take because I'm safer staying on FSD, but I did disengage.
You also don't want to get your ass kicked because of it.
You don't want to get put out of the car. That would be very unsafe. It's very safe to stay on FSD. It's unsafe to be walking alongside a road after you've been kicked out of a road. That's the most unsafe. Wait,
yeah, it's going.
Oh, it's going. It wanted to get off in 1960. But yeah, I would definitely. But I do think they're going to have to go to unsupervised before they start raising the rate. But they will. Believe me, once they go to unsupervised, that rate is good. And I don't think there's going to...
Don't you think that'll be like some kind of insurance policy too?
Yep, absolutely. And then I do think that there will be... I think right now there's one size fits all. It's $99 a month and that's it. But I do think once they get to unsupervised, I think there'll be tiers where there'll be a flat rate for those that just want it and don't want to share. But then I do think at a certain point there'll be a rate for, like, if you agree to add your Tesla to the... Now let me do this. I think I'm gonna let it stop and do its thing. And which aisle? I
think it was this aisle.
We'll go down. Let's see. Oh, it's
we were
gonna.
right next to each other.
Yeah, we were. I think it was this aisle. Let's see. It may have.
I think
I remember it was like a Jeep or something.
Yeah, it's a Jeep Wrangler.
Okay, I'm gonna let it.
Just let it.
Is that?
It's right there.
Okay,
so
there
we're
we go.
good.
So you're good. All right. So I'm at 80 and a half, man. I got to keep this thing going. But yeah, I think there's going to be some special dispensation. Like if you agree to add your Tesla to the Robotaxi network, and that could be tiered, that you'll pay less. So the people that are going to pay the absolute most are those that want unsupervised and don't want to add their vehicle. They want to continue to treat their Tesla like a baby, and it's all theirs. They don't want hookers and strippers and church ladies or anybody in the back of their Tesla. But that person may spend $600 to $1,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the person who's willing to have it out on the network whenever they're not using it may not spend nothing at all. Well, David, man, it has been so freaking good, my brother.
You're the man.
Got
JC.
a friend for life now. All right, everybody. Well, you know what? You're going to be the one. So, this has been a collab with me and David. It's been one of the best experiences I've had at the 2 Robotaxi rides, 2 long rides together. And man, it's just been what an amazing day. So, David, I've known you for a while now, but just to get to meet you in person, man.
10 times better.
Man, it's just so much better. So, to everybody out there, David, you want to say anything to your subscribers before we both sign off here?
Just keep on staying tuned. Big interview with Dan O'Dowd coming out very soon in the next couple weeks. And of course, the 50 states in under a week journey. That'll be probably the biggest thing going on this summer. And you'll stay tuned. I'll be seeing JC again at X Takeover and hope to meet you there as well.
That's right. I hope everybody comes to the X Takeover in October in Austin. It's going to be so much fun. So with that, man, what a day. Been just so much fun. David got me out of my pajamas and out of bed. Out of my house, and had a time of my life. So thank you for that, David. And with that, we're going to sign out and let David get on with some new excellent adventure.
If you made it this far in the video, I'm going to a Model S signature delivery, so that'll also be
whoa. So tune in for that. That's going to be pretty damn cool. All right, everybody, you know I love you. David loves you too. I love David. He loves me. That didn't sound great, but you know exactly what I meant by that. All right, everybody, love you. Bye-bye.